there, it's the end of the year. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the end of the year. I don't know when I will publish this video. Maybe it is already a new year. But in either case, that's a great opportunity to plan, to create some plans and goals for the new year or for this year. And I'm going to do that with you, to share some of my goals, some of the books I want to read, some of the general trends that I want for me in the future year or in this year. And I'm Masha, and you're on my channel where we read books, buy books, discuss books, look at books, and speak highly incorrect English. Welcome! So, as you can see, I created the template for this purpose in Notion because I like Notion. This is my love, but I do not use it very good. I think I don't use a lot of features because I'm too lazy to use them. I don't make it fancy or something. Even these book plans are in miscellaneous folder. There is no folder at all. I just a lot of stuff in a lot of pages. But I still like Notion because I can throw everything there and then do something. But here I created a template already. It is a very simple template because I just changed the font. I picked one of 3 available fonts and created these nice green boxes because I like green and I like sun. It looks very empty. Let's add a cover, maybe. Ooh, it's not so bad. Maybe I can change it for something else. Okay, I picked up this funny fish because I like her expression. It's just, I don't know why I assume that it is she, but let's assume that this fish is a girl. She looks like she's very curious, like, hey, did you read your books that you planned? Did you follow your plans? Huh? Follow your plans. So yes, let's leave here this fish, and I also don't like this empty space. Maybe I could find a picture for it. Okay, I found this picture, but I think I need a lot of goals for this picture to be okay size. This picture is too big. Now they are the same size, but there are too many space for my goals. Well, whatever. I said I'm not I cannot do fancy stuff and cute stuff because it's not just me. I like looking at this stuff when others do that, but okay, let's just do some planning. I already added some goals. The first goal is stop playing book games. What does it mean? You may ask. But what are book games? But I think you don't know, but there is a website which is kind of similar to Goodreads. At least in general, it serves the same purpose. There is a list of the books, you can write reviews, you can create lists, but for Russian-speaking community. And this website, it's, I said it's like Goodreads, but in fact it looks very different from Goodreads. And I used it before. I still use it. I've been using it for a lot of years, and there is such a thing, games and book clubs with their own games. Basically a lot of games. And what are those games, you may ask? And I cannot tell you. No, I can't tell you. But those games are all very, very different. There are games where other people advise you the book for your criteria, or like without criteria. There's a games where you randomly read a book from your wish list or from some list of the books, or if you're brave enough, from the wish list of a random person. I did stuff like that too. There are games dedicated to different genres of literature, to different epochs, to different seasons of the year. I think I am graduated the book school. There's a game which is structured like a school, and where you basically study subjects. You go from year to year, you study subjects, you do projects, you participate in school activities, and each thing is a book. And after each you write some small review, which is like your composition, for example, I don't know, stuff like that. And that was very funny. There is a book where you need to solve riddles, where you like travel through hidden map, through different rooms on this map, and you solve riddles, and every room is another book which is somehow related to the riddle you solved. There's a book which is one of my favorite. I still play it, which looks like a board game with a map, with the fields, with dice. You just go through this map, and every field is again a book. There is a game where you search for Pokemon. And you collect Pokemons, and you again travel through different maps for that, and again read books. There are a lot of funny games. It was a great way to communicate with other people, because all of these games are like social. You're communicating with others. Sometimes there are teams, like in that school game, you had classmates and you were a team. It also was a very great way to find new books and new genres and new authors, and I'm really grateful to games for that. But sometimes when you see all this amount of games, you want to participate in everything, but every game has its own deadlines, and sometimes they create unnecessary pressure, which took the pleasure from reading itself, because sometimes you need to read super fast to make this deadline. And yes, and this one of the reasons why I want to stop playing games, and I almost did it, so I'm good. And another reason is and now I mostly read in English, and some of these books are not translated to Russian, and I can obviously add these editions to this website. I do that constantly. Sometimes other people do that, because a lot of people read in English. But it is hard to participate in games, because these books are not part of the special list for the games. It's harder to prove that the book suits the topic and everything else. So I decided that me, should stop playing these games. And that is my first goal. Okay, my next goal is read at least one book in French. And and you see how I am ambitious, because I added 2 places to put the book I read. So basically my goal is to read at least one, but I am already ready to read 2. I think the title of this goal is quite straightforward. I tell it in every video that I'm learning French. I think this year is a great time to start reading in French, because reading in English really helped me to improve very greatly, and because it's still my favorite hobby. I like reading. I already read a couple of books dedicated to learners with stories, but I want to read the novel perfectly. If that will be a novel for the native speakers, this might be something simple for children or for teenagers, but the whole novel I have somewhere. I have a lot of stuff in different languages, like I have the manga in German. I have a Harry Potter, the first book about Harry Potter, in French, and look at this petite thing. I bought it because of the cover. It's like this anime style cover. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I will buy another book for children, something more easier, I don't know. But that's my goal. And that was the first part of my plans. And the second part is the books list. And we'll start from the I think I will cover all these. I will start from the last section. Those are depth from previous years, games, challenges, and everything else. Basically, those are books that I supposed to read for those games I talked about previously, and I did not. And I still have a lot of them. I screwed deadline in 2 games. One is very old, but there are still a lot of books I want to read. That's why I'm putting in there. One is from this year. It was like the New Year's challenge, like annual New Year's challenge. No, it's less than half, but still a lot of books, and I want to put them here. This list is below, just because that is not very important. This is less important plan here. I just put them here because I don't like have depth. And maybe one day I will clean it all, but there are still books I want to read. There are books I have on my shelves. I bought them. Let's put it inside. I have prepared everything, not everything, but these books, these lists I've already prepared. I just need to copy paste it. Okay, I've done it. Don't want to go deep into details about those books because it's not real super exciting plans. Are just some books I want to read. This is the books from the older game I want to read. I still want to read all of them, just because that game was reading random books from your wish list, and obviously they're still in my wish list. And those are books that somebody advised me, and a lot of names here are in Russian, just because some of them are originally written in Russian. I didn't check if they translated to English or not. This book, I believe it's written in Japanese, and I checked and it is not translated to English. So it's written in Russian too. That's it. That's that. Next section we are gonna reveal, okay, these Goodreads award winners. Yeah, I know. I had this idea in mind recently, and maybe I will regret it, but I've never was a reader of popular books, not because of my principles, just because I never really cared about popular books. I just played those games and I found books there. I didn't have time to read what is popular, what is just published, all this stuff. But every year there is a award in Goodreads on this Russian side, and every time these websites send me notification, please go and vote, and I go there and I have no idea what are these books is about. I've never seen them. I don't know. And this year I thought, okay, but why not? If I stop playing games, I need to find a book somewhere. And this year I recognized some of the titles just because I bought a couple of books just from the bookstore without any purpose. I just went there and buy something, and I bought obviously popular books just because the bookstores with English books here are small. English book sections are small. I live in not English speaking country, so that is, and they sell the most popular books, and now I'm like closer to the people. And I decided, okay, why not read all of the winners? This is section about this. I already prepared this too because it was simple, and I will just copy paste it too. So here we are. I don't want to go into really depth here too. I plan to make a video or like series of videos about those books, how I read them, what do I think, will I continue to read popular titles, I don't know. We already have a lot of books here. Let's reveal another section. This is a new releases 2025. I almost never waited to books to come out, mostly because I didn't read popular titles, but maybe I didn't read unfinished series, or I don't care. I easily don't finish series, so maybe because of that. But this year I realized how fun it is to wait for something, and I thought, okay, I can search specifically for some books to wait this year. At least try to. So we'll do that right now. But first of all, I need to add here the first thing I'm waiting in. This is the Sunshine Court, the second novel of Take 2, because I don't think there's a title yet, and I'm pretty sure it should come out this year. First of all, the Sunshine Court was a surprise for me. I accidentally saw this book in some other booktuber video, and I'm like, oh my god, is it what I'm thinking of? It is, and it was, and I read it obviously, and I'm waiting for the second one. And the next book I want to write down here just out of my head is Fence, just Fence, because I didn't find any particular information. I didn't look very carefully, but I think that this year came out a new like single volume. Not the full volume, but single issue, and I read it, and I'm waiting for every new episode of Fence. And you see how my tastes are similar here. I will read anything that came out. So, yes, those are books from ahead. And then I want to make a small research. Okay, I did some research. Let me see the results of it. I just looked through some lists of books that are gonna come out. I didn't do a very careful research. Maybe I should prepare better, but don't know. I will see later. But I really liked these 3 things. First of all, it's I'm Not a Jessica Chen. This is let's understand, some kind of dark academia thing with a change of the body, because the main character is the girl who wants to be her very successful cousin who studied at some fancy university, who is the best everything and everywhere, and her wish comes true and she becomes her cousin somehow, and realizes that it's not so cool, in fact. And as I understand, it's a dark academia thing, so I don't know, I just really like these descriptions, so just let's wait. And another thing is Keta Basis, Kata. I don't know how to read it correctly, but that's another, I think, dark academia thing. It's gonna be Year of Dark Academia, maybe, I don't know. But this is the author of Yellowface and Babel. Maybe it's better to read this something before waiting for anything new, just to check on her style, if I like it or not. But I'm planning to read a Babel, actually. I've read it, I put it in my wish list, so maybe I will read it before. But I just found this funny comment in Goodreads about this book. It is like 1 year old comment, but I'm already hooked in by only this comment. I can barely find anything on the book, but there is a TikTok that shows the author talking about the book, and she says it's called Catabasis, which is the Greek term for the descent into the underworld narrative. It's about 2 PhD students who are magicians who travel to hell to rescue the soul of their dead advisor who died in a freak magic accident, so that he can come back to life and write their recommendation letters and become not just magicians, but tenure track magicians. And it's also a love story, blah blah blah. But it is a story about 2 students who follows their professor into the hell because they need recommendation letters. And I just, oh my god, that is such a student thing you can do. I remember myself being a student. Like, yes, I could follow my professor to hell if I need something from him. I want to read it. And the last book is Adam Silvera, No One Knows Who Dies at the End. And I just thought, I was sort of looking at this list and I thought, okay, maybe I could, I don't know all these authors, maybe I could look into authors I know and maybe I can anticipate something from that. And I remember this guy, I read the first book from this series. I don't know if it's a like very connected series, but at least it's the same universe. And I read the first book, I liked it, I liked his style, his thoughts, and what I liked about this author, I also read another book just from another universe, that he creates these magical, but not really magical words, where it's very ordinary people in ordinary world like we are, but there is one particular small thing that is like science fiction or like it's magical, and I like it being like that because I like reading about ordinary lives, but with this hint of something interesting. And in this universe, there is an application. If I'm not mistaken, it's an application that can tell you at the day of your death that you will die these days, and you can spend your last day in particular way. I think that's quite enough for new releases, and my last categories is just others. I already have a lot of books here, but I still like want to add a couple of books that I just want to read, that I just on my shelves or in my mind, or I know that I will read them. I just add a couple of them here, and again we'll discuss. I finished, this is not so big of a plan. As I said, there are a lot of other books, and I will, my mood will change obviously, and I will not read any of them maybe, but some small plans. Here is just Umberto Eco. I just want to read at least one book of him. I have two of them on my shelves, these huge books. I read, I think, two of his books. I read Name of the Rose a couple of years ago, and I was fascinated. I liked it so much. It was such a good detective story. It's such a good like philosophic work, such a good dive into history. I liked it, and I have, as I said, two of his others huge books. I want to read at least one of them, and I think I can do that. And the next, like two options, let's say two options, is C.S. Packet's Dark Cries and The Captive Prince. As I said previously, I'm a big fan of fans, and I want to read everything from this woman. She is wonderful, and I already read The Captive Prince, the first book, and I stopped, and I could not force myself to read further, even though I liked it. And I have all these three books here, and I shall, maybe I will continue, but first I need to reread the first book because I forgot all the names. And I just want to read it. And also, maybe I could, like, instead of or together with reading Captive Prince, I can read another series that she's writing right now. There's, I think, 2 books already in the series, and it's Dark Cries. I have a book here too for the first one, and I want to read it. I bought it, and I like this author. The King of Scars, not only The King of Scars, but it's the second book, I don't remember the name, but I read everything about Grisha. This is my entry into fantasy, because I'm not really into fantasy. Of course, I occasionally read some books, but this is my first huge universe. If you don't count Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings and all these big, huge and famous things. And Nikolai is my favorite character, and I want to read about him, obviously. So yes, and I think that is enough. Honestly, that is too many books already, but I will not finish half of them. I know that, and even if I put here just 10, I will read 5. If I put 20, I will read 10, and that's work like that. And that was it. Drop your plans down below. What are your general plans? What are you gonna do? How many books maybe you want to read? How you finished your year? Did you finish your plans for the previous year? Let's just chat casually in the comments. Let's discuss the future years. Maybe give your opinion on the books I want to read. but please without spoilers. And yes, good luck, happy reading, and see you next time.